Hi guys, and welcome back here to Drone Emotion, a channel where we do drone videos and where we cover the most relevant drone news. Today my friends, we're back here once again with breaking news regarding the DJI Air twice, and that is because we have the official leaks for this new DJI drone. We have all of these specs regarding the camera, so that's going to be covered in today's video, as well as some of the new features that this new drone is going to be including that we did not know in the past. So today's video is going to be pretty exciting to say the least, so you don't want to miss out on today's video, guys. But before we get started, if you're new to the channel, welcome here, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button, because in this channel we will always be the first ones to bring you the latest drone news. And also, we have hit 5,000 subscribers, so a huge thank you to everyone who has subscribed to the channel now. Next up is 10k. I know we can do it, guys. I know we can do it together, and I know that all of you are capable of doing so. So let's go ahead. If you have not subscribed to the channel yet, subscribe so you don't miss out on the latest drone news and help us get to that next goal, which we're not that far away from, guys. We're halfway through. So with that being said, let's go ahead and dive right into today's video, which is going to be a very exciting one. Well, in our last video, guys, we talked about all of the official images that were leaked thanks to our good friends over at Technic News and written by Niels Arnsmeier. So a huge thanks to him. Danke meinen guten Freunden. Das Artikel ist sehr gut und sehr interessant. Ich bin sehr erfreut von das neue DJI Drone. So a huge thanks to my boy Niels. He's over in Germany, so thank you for posting this great article and getting those pictures. So thank you, my man. So why don't we go ahead and talk about the specs that we have regarding the DJI Air 2. So by now I'm pretty sure that all of you have seen the pictures, but in case you haven't, here we have a couple of them right here on screen. So that's the DJI Air 2 that's going to be coming out really soon. Everything is pointing, guys, towards April. April is supposed to be the release date for this new DJI drone, so as soon as we have the exact date, we're gonna keep you updated. So let's go ahead and dive right into the technical specs that this new drone will have. So the first thing that this new drone will have is a bigger sensor. It will have a 1-inch sensor. Unfortunately, it will not have Hasselblad color grading technology. It looks like that's going to be left for DJI's higher tier drones, such as the Pro lineup. So unfortunately, no Hasselblad, but we do get that 1-inch sensor, which is a Sony IMX 383 sensor, which is a really good sensor. It's been out for a while now, but it still performs great. Now we're gonna be having 20 megapixel still pictures, and we're going to be able to shoot in JPEG, also in RAW format, or in JPEG and RAW. So I think that's great for all those amateur and pro level photographers. Now let's talk about video quality. We're gonna be having 4K 60. We know that that sensor is capable of shooting at that rate, so 4K 60 will be higher than what we find on the original Mavic 2 Pro, which is 4K 30. So definitely a big improvement on that. So 4K 60 definitely upwards towards what we saw on the Mavic 2 Pro. Keep in mind, same frame rate as what we find it on quality on the Mavic Air 2. Now, obviously with a bigger sensor, it will perform way better in low light scenarios. Now, we're gonna have 10-bit color. Also, we're going to be having intelligent HDR and hyperlapse, as well as panorama. Also, thanks to the guys over at Technic News, we know the weight of this drone. This drone will weigh 600 grams, so a bit heavier than what we've had on the original Mavic Air 2, which was 576 if I'm not mistaken. So around a 30 gram increase in weight, and that's mainly because of the camera that has been improved. So a bigger camera means a little bit heavier weight. So on the original one we had a 1/2-inch sensor. Now we had 48 megapixel pictures with this gun. Unfortunately, we're now only getting 20, but we had to give up that for the bigger sensor. But the quality will be definitely much better than what we had on this one compared in low light scenarios. Now let's go ahead and talk about what else do we have. Now we're also going to be having 8 gigabytes of internal storage, same as what we had with the Mavic Air 2, so no need to worry about that. Also, we're going to be having Mastershots, which supposedly will be 10 pre-programmed video flight modes. Now Spotlight 2.0 will also be included. Point of Interest 3.0 will come with a new DJI Air 2S, as well as Active Track 4.0. So a much better version of what we originally found on the Active Track 3.0. Now let's talk about the FPV capabilities of this drone. We know that this drone will still have the same speed, not any faster, but we know that this drone will be compatible with the B2 goggles from DJI that were just released, and those are the goggles that are utilized on the FPV drone. So I think that's great news, because we're going to be able to get that FPV experience without actually having to buy that $1,500 drone to experience that firsthand. So I'm really looking forward to that. I really like that DJI is going to be making the DJI Air 2 compatible with the FPV goggles B2. Now, something that's quite interesting is the upward optical avoidance that we're going to be having. Now, this is funny because with the Mavic 2 Pro, the upward optical avoidance was actually located at the back of the drone, and it was pointing exactly directly towards the sky. Now, this one is quite interesting because it looks like they're facing kind of like in a 45-degree angle, facing towards where the drone is going to be flying. So that's quite interesting. Now I have a feeling that might be some sort of protection for when we're flying in FPV mode with this drone, in order to give us that extra protection. So that's maybe why, and that's why probably the drone is going to be leaning forward a bit more, and that's why we're going to be needing those extra sensors in the top. That's my prediction. Now we're still not getting side optical avoidance. That's going to be left for DJI's highest tier drones, which are going to be the Pro lineup. So unfortunately, I know a lot of people wanted them, but unfortunately we cannot get them at this price point. Me too, I was really hoping for it, but unfortunately it did not happen. Now, what else do we have? Well, we're going to be having Ocusync 3.0, which should give us around 10 kilometers of range, which is right around 6.5 miles, which is more than enough, and it's the current transmission system that we find on the FPV drone. So we're getting rid of that old technology, the Ocusync 2.0, which was first introduced back in 2018 with the Mavic 2 Pro and the Mavic 2 Zoom. So I'm really looking forward to that. We still get the same range, but the transmission signal is much stronger with Ocusync 3.0, so I'm pretty excited to that. Now that does mean that the smart controller will no longer be compatible, because in order for the smart controller to be compatible, there's no way they could do it except they do some hardware modifications to the controller, which of course that's not going to happen. So hopefully we get an updated smart controller 2.0. So I'm looking forward to that. As soon as we have any news regarding it, we're gonna keep you guys updated here in the channel. Now we're still missing out on a few things. We also do know that we're gonna be having silent props. Flight time, we still don't have that. Now, I'm hoping that's still 34 minutes. Will it still be that? We still don't know, and that's because the Air 2s will be a bit heavier than the original Air 2. So that means more weight. That means that the battery is gonna be draining faster. So hopefully we get some new ESCs to compensate for that. And keep in mind that the battery size will be exactly the same as what we find on the Air 2. So the batteries will be compatible between these two drones. So I think that's a great idea from DJI. Now, I think that's gonna wrap up today's video, guys. I think that's everything that we know regarding the DJI Air 2S. And one more thing before we go, the DJI Air 2S of course will not be CE marked, which is a big deal for Europe. Unfortunately, that will not happen. What can I say, guys? I know that a lot of people were hoping for that, but it looks like it will not be happening. Will it happen with the Mavic Air 3? We still don't know. Hopefully that does happen. Now, one more thing is going to be just the ADS-B that's going to come included with all versions worldwide. So no longer the thing that happened last year where only North American versions of the Air 2 have ADS-B. So old versions will have ADS-B, so nothing to worry about there, guys. So those are all of the official specs that we know so far regarding the drone. Obviously, of course, we can also expect to have that LED light at the bottom of the drone. Now we're just missing out on release date, official pricing, and flight time. So as soon as we have all of that info, we're gonna keep you guys updated. No need to worry about that. So that's gonna wrap up today's video, guys. Thanks for watching, and see you tomorrow with a brand new video with Drone Emotion. Signing out.